bottom. Again, Thorsten Stuckmann, neither club can afford to slip up in, surely.
Not really, and interesting to see how they start, if they will start nervously because they're playing about for so much today, or if they want to be on the front foot.
There is Leveling for Reuterfort. Leveling's cross repelled. That source there by Sebastian Bornau. But amazing how Wolfsburg began the campaign with Mark van Bommel in charge, winning their first 4 games, their best ever start to a top-flight campaign. But since then, just 2 more wins across the next 16 matches, hence why they are where they are. Away here by Brooks. Beyond Arnold. Dudziak here for the Dutch fullback Jethro Willems. It could be, I guess, Torsten, a fairly nervy game as well, this.
Yeah, I think it will be. I think he will be the difference, Max Kruse, or can be. He was obviously in Union Berlin, and the way he plays, I think he's full of confidence. He's happy to be back here with his unfinished business, and he can be a difference, and hopefully he can take the nervousity a little bit away from the game.
Now Brooks here to Bornau, likes to play that middle of the 3 defenders, the player they brought in from Köln in the summer. Now Maxence Lacroix sets off, but just tugged back there by Jeremy Dudziak. But Fort on this 4-game unbeaten run, they've only won 1 of those 4, but I think the thing you mentioned earlier, Torsten, they will have the belief of that certainly becoming hard to beat.
Yes, I think that's what it's all about for Wolfsburg, to be hard to beat, to stay in the game as long as possible, or stay in the league as long as possible, to keep everything open. And I don't think anyone expects anything of Fürth, and that makes it so interesting, I would say.
Renato Steffen, quite fine Asta Branks there, the teenage Belgian who's made big strides in the last few matches. He is only 19. They brought in from Mechelen in Belgium for around €8 million in the summer. 4 goals in Belgium last season, and also went viral last September in the last season with one of the great open goal misses in a game versus Ostende. This is Leveling to Hergeter. And Wolfsburg do here. This is Jonas Wind, who is a tall man, 1 metre 90, 6'3", brought in from Copenhagen. It's very much in terms of physique the like-for-like new Wout Weghorst here. Here's Franks for Yannick Gerhardt. Brooks. Name of Simon Asta. Steppen's cross for Jonas Wind. Ball smuggled behind here for the game's first corner for Wolfsburg.
Really well played over the wing. And this is something obviously Wind will be looking for, get crosses in the box. This was really close, really good defending as well, stood tight to him. Yeah, it was a good start from Wolfsburg so far.
It's punchy and positive so far. They have, from set pieces, not scored from a corner so far. 3 goals from dead balls, full stop for them in the current campaign. Ranks here with that corner. Sasha Borchert up to make the first catch, and Borchert seeing off the challenge of the new signing Andres Linde from Molde in Norway.
Yeah, but this will give him some confidence as well. As we said before, he's been dropped to the bench in the Hinrunde, and being back in, even though they brought a new keeper in with the international break, the coach had a chance to look at the new keeper and still went with Burchard, and that should give him some extra confidence. I thought he did really well in the last 4 games as well, so there was no time or no need to change the keeper either.
3 clean sheets in his last 6, which is their first clean sheets of the current season too. Didn't keep any in their first 14 games. As Torsten says, they dropped him for Marius Funk after 7 matches. Yeah. Funk then tore a cruciate and he's out for the season.
Yeah, and obviously Funk compared to Burchard was, footballing-wise, playing out from the back, Funk was much better than Burchard is. But I think at the moment where they're just in the relegation battle, they need the stability, and obviously he's got the experience, Burchard, he's at the club for so long, so I think it's good for Leitl to stay with him.
Here by Simon Aster for Jamie Leveling. Brooks stands firm, finds Max Kruse. It breaks though here now for Greuther Fürth. Arnold away. Now Aster Vranks into Wind, who's lost the ball. And here come Greuther Fürth towards Jamie Leveling. Branimir Hergeter. Hergeter across to Jethro Willems. And Willems towards Dudziak. This is Tillman. Again Timothy Tillman. Towards Leveling, and kicked away by Koen Casteels. Greuther Fürth's first big chance of the afternoon. Chase on for Jonas Wind. Well, you saw there that save from Koen Casteels. And Fürth here mean business.
Yeah, but this pass here into the run of Leveling, great chance. I think Bono did well. He stood tight to him, even though a good finish, and thankfully Casteels was on his heels. Good save, good stop.
Casteels with so far 6 clean sheets, only 3 goalkeepers with more in the current campaign. The Baku on here by Wind for Max Kruse. It might break here for Renato Steffen. His ball in off the post and in by Aster Vranks. His first goal in the Bundesliga, and Wolfsburg in a game they have to win. Billed as a final, they have the first incision. And that is the start they simply demanded today. 1-0 Wolfsburg.
But this here, it started there. Great pass, Max Kruse. Touch was a bit too heavy, but still they didn't give up, and then they loaded the box. Obviously the rebound is lucky, but from Renato Steffen, look, it doesn't look like they don't have any confidence, because going on target from where Renato there tried to score is really difficult. And yes, he hit the post, took a little bit of a deflection, but that's the luck you need to get back into the Bundesliga season.
A game of high stakes, a start of high energy here for Wolfsburg, and a goal from Aster Vranks. His maiden goal for the club, and for Florian Kohfeldt, that is exactly the start he would have wished for in this huge relegation battle.
It's really good first 8 minutes. 2 chances on both sides. A chance just a minute before Leveling had the chance to go 1-0 ahead for Fürth. So it's a good game.
Begun well so far, these two in the bottom 3 at kick-off. Here's Arnold to find Maxence Lacroix, who's had a really tough second season here. His first was really stellar. This campaign giving away 3 penalties, 2 red cards, 1 own goal. This is Timothy Tillman. Willems. Now to find Nick Viergever. To Griesbeck. Griesbeck they brought in from Max Kruse's old club Union Berlin in the summer to really play midfield, but he's had to play as a centre-back for much of the campaign. He's done well there too, alongside that man there, Nick Viergever, in recent matches. A real burgeoning defensive pair for Greuther Fürth in that run of 3 clean sheets in 6.
Yeah, he's done really well. He played it before in the second Bundesliga as well, so he knows what to do there. But he's such a good player to play out from the back, which is Fürth wants to do as well. He's big, he's a tall lad, so he's done really well out of position so far this season.
Foul here by Max Christiansen on Riedler Baku. Christiansen brought in from third tier Waldhof Mannheim. He was relegated with Ingolstadt from the Bundesliga, 5 years ago now. Free kick for the Wolves in the Jonas Wind at 1.90 m, an obvious totem to aim for. Arnold on the dead ball. And they underline their strong start further with a second goal. Arnold takes. Helped on by Renato Steffen. Steffen in the air is not one to be taken lightly. Only 1.70 m, but maybe 16 goals in the top flight. 6 have been headers.
Yeah, but I think in this occasion, if he would have left it, would have gone straight to Wind. But still, it was a really good delivery. Good one from the 3 players from Wolfsburg. It was Wind, Brooks and Steffen who headed the ball.
It's Riedler Baku here for Wolfsburg. And again, Arnold, their good appearance maker. And here too, Renato Steffen, but just runs away there from the Swiss. His first goal for his nation too, back in the autumn in moving away to Lithuania in World Cup qualifying. A game he needs to win, Korfeld. 9 winless league games, all competitions 11 winless. Just 2 points from a possible 27 across 9 match days in the Bundesliga, which for a club who finished 4th last season is nowhere near acceptable. Maxence Lacroix. Gerhardt here now for Baku. Wolfsburg's last game, they held Leipzig goalless until the last 15 minutes before losing 2-0 on match day 22 weeks ago. They played okay in that game, away to Leipzig. Here is Steffen, who missed that game with suspension. Griesbeck here back to goalkeeper Borchert. One away point so far on their return to the top flight for Greuther Fürth, away to Bielefeld in January. Bornau, they are the only winless team away from home in the German top flight in the current season. From danger here by Aster. Now Leveling. It's going to be called back for a free kick for Greuther Fürth. The start here by the home team, Torsten, looking really positive in the first 12 minutes.
Yes, completely different to what we've seen in recent games. I think it was important for them. It looks like they used the international break wisely, spent some time on the training pitch, which they haven't had before, even though before the winter break they haven't had any time because of the Champions League and all the games they played. So it looks like they used the time on the training pitch. They do look a bit more compact. They know when to, at the moment, when to press together. It's really good so far.
He's Leveling though for Hergoter for Fürth and away. Maxence Lacroix. He's linked with a move to Leipzig last summer after that wonderful first season with the club, having come in from French second tier Sochaux. Maxence Lacroix. So Aster throws in, only his 5th ever career start in the Bundesliga. His first was here on the last day of the 18-19 season. They lost 8-1 that day at Augsburg, his former side. That was certainly a very chastening first start for Aster in the Bundesliga. Throw here, Renato Steffen for Wolfsburg. Jonas Wind. Griesbeck. Just now to involve Jethro Willems. But Willems a player with a point to prove, really. He was let go by Frankfurt, having come back from recruitment, picked up on loan with Newcastle 2 years ago. He was, don't forget, for the Dutch, their first choice right back, way back at Euro 2012. Jethro Willems is not yet 30. He's a player still with, I'm sure, lots to give. Free arrival, and it's been another solid in that recent defensive resurgence for Greuther Fürth. It's Vierhefer given away now to Jonas Wind, and Wind's ball in deflects. Up in the air from Willems. Arnold. Now to John Brooks. The first 50 minutes to really infuse Wolfsburg on such a difficult run. Here is Arnold again.
It's not the nervous start we've probably expected. They pass the ball well, they're patient with the ball, and I think they deserve to lead at the moment as well.
And those new players, Jonas Wind and Max Kruse, looking sharp so far. Stefan Leitl, as I say, became the club's longest-serving coach ever when he passed the 3-year mark yesterday. The club their second ever promotion to the Bundesliga, a club they once called the Unpromotables before they got here for the first time. Last year's was a surprise promotion. Only in the last 7 minutes of the last game did they book their place in the Bundesliga with a goal from Dixon Abiyama against Fortuna Düsseldorf late. Matchday 34 last season. He's second behind Bochum, last season's second Bundesliga. Always going to be a tough campaign, of course, for a club who'd come up, but especially one who came up really unexpectedly through the back door to play in the Bundesliga. Greuther Fürth, just those 2 wins so far across the season's first 20 match days.
Yeah, and they knew what challenge they had ahead of them. I think it was more about enjoying the Bundesliga season and try to get the best out of it. I think even in the first half of the season, where they couldn't get as many wins in, or a lot of wins in, or points on the board, they played some good football, and I'm happy for them that they finally get the earnings there to get a couple of points on the board.
We shouldn't forget too, they did lose several key defensive players from their promotion team, the likes of Anton Stack and David Raum and Paul Jäkel, all moving on before this season even kicked off.
Yeah, it was a massive blow for them. Obviously they would have expected them to stay and try to get their chance in the Bundesliga with Fürth, but you can't blame the players when they get some other offers from bigger clubs.
David Raum's rise has been one of the most notable this season too, with Hoffenheim now, of course, a German international as well. The throw here, it's Simon Aster for Greuther Fürth. The Clover Leaves from northern Franconia. Aster in. It's Jamie Leveling. Aster's cross. Looking for Hergerter, running on here now towards Jetro Willems. It's Willems, and still here, and Tillman's shot deflects away, only for a goal kick, I think.
Yeah, it was deflected by his own player, but good chance. Here's the goal again. Unlucky from Griesbeck in this situation, but I think the most important thing was Renato Steffen's confidence to go on target from here.
Aster ranks with his maiden goal in Germany. Wolfsburg lead with that goal. Baku and Ranks. Here's Jetro Willems, away from danger now for Greuther Fürth. Picked up by Maxence Lacroix, who is quick. Only Mainz's Jerison Just of centre-backs is quicker than the Wolfsburg number 4 in the current Bundesliga season. Kruse. On Bornau. Cross to find John Brooks. Renato Steffen. Max Kruse. Kruse really is the ultimate maverick, the X-Factor player. He's in from Union Berlin for around €5 million, 34 next month, Kruse. He'll enjoy his time under Korfeld at Werder Bremen. 19 goals, 25 assists in 44 games under the coach in Bremen. He scored 6 goals in his one season here in 15-16 in his other Wolfsburg spell. Here's Riedler Baku for Jonas Wind. Blocked there by Griesbeck.
Well played, and so far, especially Wind, he looks really integrated into the team. So the time they spent on the training ground seems like to work really well so far, because it's hard if you have 2 new players in the front too. They don't really know the routine of the game. It's good. It looks like it works so far.
Arnold on the corner here for Wolfsburg. Arnold takes and flicked away here towards Riedler Baku, but the breakaway is on here. This is Jeremy Dudziak. Break with purpose, support 2 with him from Tillman. Here he is, Tillman on towards Dudziak again, but look at the speed here of recovery of Yannick Gerhardt.
Yeah, really important here. Gerhardt has shown how quick he is, but a little bit of miscommunication here from Arnold and Riedle Baku.
These two began the day as the lowest scorers in the Bundesliga, 17 goals each. See so far Fürth with the more shots, but Wolfsburg bossing the ball thus far, possession well on top in the game's opening stages. They have a corner though, Fürth, do they here? Maybe a handball against Baku, who's been given by the referee Martin Petersen.
Interesting. There's no arguing, so must have been wide. For me, it looks like a foot, if I'm honest, but it's a great opportunity of playing from that angle. Free kick in there.
Well, of their 17 goals, 5 have come from dead balls in the current season. Branimir Hergota has been an obvious man to find, their 16-goal top scorer in their promotion season. Only 4 so far this, and none since late November. So Tillman on this free kick. Tillman takes and punched away by Castells.
I think it was Brooks here who headed it away, important, but I think Castells would have been right behind him. But important for a centre half to be well aware of the situation and just clear the ball.
It's Paul Seguin, 12 years on the books here with Wolfsburg. He played for the club in the top flight on 26 occasions, 1 goal, and in the game he scored in against Hertha Berlin, he was sent off. Yellow cards. He's this season's most booked player in the entire Bundesliga, Paul Seguin. He's a key man in the midfield. He's their best passer, made their most passes and the most accuracy. He's a driving force for Stefan Leitl in that midfield engine room for the Cloverleafs. Asta Vranks, whose goal splits the sides at the moment. Vranks here for Jonas Bindt. Bindt brought in from Copenhagen. His record there was pretty good in terms of goals in Denmark's top division. 36 goals in 88 matches in the Danish Super League.
He also played international football in the Europa League, so it's not like a fully newcomer. Obviously he has to get used to the Bundesliga. It's a different tempo played in the Bundesliga, but I think the way he plays, he will get used to it quite quickly.
Brings back away from Vint. It's Timothy Tillman, born in Nuremberg but raised by his mother in Fürth. Back at the club after a 5-year stay with Bayern, where of course his brother Malik is making strides around the first team. Willems throws in here then for Greuther Fürth. 8 away goals so far in Fürth's season. Put on here by Kruse towards the chasing Vint. Riesbeck beneath it. Christensen towards Asta, but it's going to be nicked away here by Steffen for Wolfsburg. Back to find Brooks. Arnold here, their deep line playmaker. There, that lovely big switch out towards Baku, fine pass. It's Riedle Baku, Baku for Vranks, Riedle Baku again, Baku, Arnold's hit deflects away off Jetro Willems, and the pressure stays on here with Maxence Lacroix. Lacroix stopped there by Branimir Hergota.
All started with a great switch from Maxi Arnold there, and then Riedle Baku I think he missed the opportunity to shoot with his left pack.
Baku's last league goal back in September away to Hoffenheim. It's Willems. Baku's second season with the Wolves, a player who was signed really for it appears now a bargain, 10 million euros. There he is from Mainz. Riedle Baku. Arnold pushed across now to find the Berlin-born American John Brooks. Team towards Asta Vranks. can hear the noise from the fans allowed in, only 500. The rules set on a state-by-state basis, and here in Lower Saxony the limit set at just the 500 fans. We had 10,000 at Bayern last night in their game with Leipzig.
Yes, I think all the Lower Saxony clubs are really disappointed with it, from the Bundesliga down to the lower divisions, because obviously they would love to have a little more fans in here.
I saw in the stands there Jörg Schmadtke, the director of sport here, who signs the cheques and agrees the transfers. In the summer they spent 50 million euros, and only Leipzig spent more. Plus, of course, in the winter window, that 25 million spree on the two players who've begun today. Vinton, who's also the young American, Kevin Paredes, who's on the bench. Baku. Maxence Legois. The coaching change, of course, in the summer. The Glasner moving on, and Mark van Bommel lasted just the 9 league matches before he was allowed to depart. Kruse. Gerhardt, Vint. Kruse's pass, picked off here though by Pietro Willems. Again the ball turns over. Yannick Gerhardt. Foul there by Balzeguin. Has made this season the 5th most fouls of any player in the Bundesliga. No surprise given those 8 yellow cards. Gerhardt to Brooks. Surprised that we saw the stats earlier. Wolfsburg a bossing possession so far in the game. A sign of that growing belief. Here's Jonas Vint. Vint on to Max Kruse. Kruse clipped in towards Asta Franks again. Oh, big chance. Big chance. It should be 2-0.
Oh yeah, great chance. I think he was a little bit surprised that he got a chance to hit the ball. I can understand Leveling why he's angry. I think it was a foul.
I mentioned Franks, that viral open goal miss in Belgium last season. That was not quite in the same league, but certainly a chance he should be scoring here to make it 2-0 for Wolfsburg in this first half.
But I like the composure Wolfsburg is playing with at the moment. Even though the chance from France came from a great ball, I think it was Brooks, through the lines. He broke 3 lines, or 2 lines at least, into Wind. I think that's the kind of play Kohlfeld wants to see.
Steffen, which with Yannick Gerhardt onto Maximilian Arnold. Asta Franks. Franks on to Riedler Baku, can make things happen. Exciting player. Baku drives, in by Riedler Baku, just beyond Jonas Wind at the far post.
Great 1v1 from Baku, but you've got to say Willems defended there really well. There, yeah, it was a foul for me, or no hidden. But one word to Baku's cross. I think the cross wasn't spot on because of Willems was so tight to him, and it just had the shoulder out a little bit, and that was enough to take him off to not produce a really good ball into the box.
Before this game, Wolfsburg, in terms of the expected goals metric, had the least efficient attack in all of the Big 5 European leagues. The stats say they should have scored 30 goals. They've only scored now 18. XG of over 30. So maybe no great surprise they chose to make that change and move on. The underperforming, and I think want away without Weghorst in that window to Burnley in England's Premier League. A more hungry player, a fresher player brought in Jonas Wind, replacing a man who gave good service here, Weghorst. He's 4 or 5 years in the Wolfsburg jersey. Leveling. Now Simon Asta on the scene. Good work here by Asta. Asta in, and away by Maxence Legois. In the nick of time in the box here now for Waterford again. It's with Leveling. Leveling went for goal and beaten clear by Castells. Through Willems. Now the counter may be on, but it's picked up by Nick Viergever. Al-Zegwin. Timothy Tillman. Again Viergever. To Hurgete now for Willems. Christensen with Zegwin. Zegwin for Leveling chasing. Here comes Castells.
This touch here is brilliant. Forward touch, great ball in the box. Lacroix massive there that he stood where he was. There's a good chance. I think it was the best we've seen from Wolfsburg from Fürth so far, and that should give them some hope that this game, it's 1-0, it's not over, and it's still 60 minutes to play.
In the Leipzig game, certainly 2 weeks ago, when Leipzig's first goal went in, Wolfsburg's heads did drop noticeably. So I'm sure even with a lead here, their self-belief is relatively fragile. Franks. Stefan Leitl there, the coach, Munich born, formerly coach at Ingolstadt. So we're taken here by Simon Asta today for the COVID-19 victim. Marco Meyerhofer, their preferred choice at right back. Christensen. Stefan here throws in for Wolfsburg, but Maximilian Arnold. It's Bornau, the header down to Gerhard, didn't quite come off. Cruz has given the ball away here, could be expensive too. And Leveling bundled over in a position as well of some menace to Wolfsburg's goal.
I like what Leveling does so far. It's a cheap free kick, I think, but obviously he felt the push, and then you have to go down as a striker. But Leveling so far is really enthusiastic. He wants to take 1v1s, and it's good to see.
The ball placed here by the captain. Hurgete also there is Tillman. Options here A and B then for Greuther Fürth. Imagine Hurgete here will pull rank as skipper, take this on. His last goal came in the remarkable 6-3 home defeat to Hoffenheim at the end of November. Castells has his defensive barrier built to repel the danger. Also there, Tillman, number 21 on the ball too, but this may well favour, I think, the left boot of Branimir Hurgete, who's focused, fixed, on the job in hand. It's Hurgete who went low and has forced the save here from Castells, which he's more than equal to.
Yeah, but he must have known that the wall will jump that high. You've got to be careful as a wall to jump. You rather take one over the wall, and if it goes top in, because the ones underneath the wall are really hard to judge by the goalkeeper. It's a good save by Castells.
You see often these days teams put the draft excluded player behind the wall, lying down to stop that kind of shot we saw there from Branimir Hurgete. This is Nick Viergever. Very successful Eredivisie career in the Netherlands with clubs like Ajax and PSV and AZ. 10 to half-time, and Wolfsburg lead, but one or two signs these last 5 minutes that Fürth have begun to find their own rhythm and range in the game. Long here for the chase from Asta. Asta versus Renato Steffen. It's a corner, came off the Swiss last.
I don't think there's any argument there. There we see it's a good free kick. Castells, well, he sees the ball there really well, but then if it goes underneath, it's hard to judge, and well done by the keeper.
Rain falling now with some force in the Autostadt. Corner then for Fürth, who did draw here in their previous season in the Bundesliga, a 1-1 draw on their last league visit here. On the corner, Jetro Willems. In by Willems. And there's Tillman back in. Away by Lacroix. Leveling. Further away from danger. By the man who gave away the corner, Renato Steffen. This certainly is for Greuther Fürth their best spell of the game so far. Asking real questions now of Wolfsburg in the last few minutes. 1 or 2 chances. Now Willems. Hergeter. Willems. Leveling. Now Cruiser escapes, it's up towards Vince. It's going to be picked up here though by Paul Seguin, the man who had 12 years here with the Wolves. On to find Timothy Tillman. Into Leveling, who again wants the free kick, not given this time. Tillman again, and for Seguin. Again here, Paul Seguin. With the goalkeeper Sascha Borschut, who's been kept so far relatively underemployed since the goal. Griesbeck. It's now with Seguin again for Fürth. Vierhefer. Long here now for Jamie Leveling. Turns over again here. It's Christensen to find Branimir Hergeter. Away from Riedler Baku. Timothy Tillman. Find the way through here. It's going to be poked out though to Jetro Willems. Willems crosses. Brooks heads clear. Arnold, Kruse, one now to Vint. The 2 new players in combination here for the Wolves. On to Riedler Baku. Will make progress. Baku away from Tillman. Yannick Gerhardt. The attack falls apart.
Forward pass is a good thinking in general, but this one I think Renato wasn't expecting to be that quick to go afterwards. But again, really well played by Wolfsburg. They lost a bit of the control of the game. Fürth is doing really well, but this here the counter-attack well played from Kruse into Wind, then out to Riedler Baku, and then obviously he likes to go 1v1 and driving inside. And this is something Kofeld wants to see and will help the team to grow.
There's Brooks. Away by Asta. Asta Vranks in now. The Baku. Tillman is lurking. This now is Jonas Vind. Blocked off there by Griesbeck too, and the foul given against Griesbeck on the Danish striker.
Griesbeck crossed his path and then hit him on the heel, so it's a free kick.
These positions, Wolfsburg do have major options. Players like Arnold, who scored in his career 5 direct free kicks in the Bundesliga. Also, of course, Max Kruse will maybe fancy this. Asta Vranks, I think, has placed the ball though, and whose goal still is the one to split the teams. In this relegation battle royale in the Bundesliga basement. Highly watchable game so far too. Vranks with his gaze set and fixed on this. It's Asta Vranks over the bar.
That is a little bit too far out, in my opinion, to go on goal.
Now inside the last 5 minutes of the first half, Astor Branks' his maiden goal in the Bundesliga, the only goal of the game so far. Has been there for Fürth a better last 10 or so minutes. It's leveling there by Brooks.
In the last 10 minutes they show you, and especially Wolfsburg, that they can't take the foot off the gas, because if they do,
play stopped here for the, I think, head injury in the penalty area. I think is it Dudziak, the player down in a ball on the turf. He may be in collision with Sebastian Bornau.
Yeah, but Bornau was too late, and I think he hit him. So, but it's free kick given for Fürth, for Wolfsburg.
Well, Wolfsburg's last league win, November the 6th. Long time ago, 3 months winless in the Bundesliga. Since then, Fürth have won twice, home to Union, home to Mainz. 10 points for their season so far for Greuther Fürth. And the day, 8 points off second bottom, 11 points off Wolfsburg in the relegation playoff position. Just one or two flickerings of life in Greuther Fürth's bid to stay in the Bundesliga, which will of course require a football miracle, but just one or two signs they're going to find their feet at this level. It's being looked at here for a potential penalty.
Yeah, and the Fürth players were wondering why it's been given for Wolfsburg, so it will be interesting.
In Cologne with video assist today, we have Dr. Robert Kampke and also Holger Henschel. What do you think of this, Torsten?
Don't know yet. There it is now. So, for me, Tillman is Dudziak is playing the ball first, and so not sure if it's clear penalty, but if you look at it from there, it's ball played, and then Bornau's foot goes right through Dudziak's leg. So
it is being looked at long and hard here by the team, both in Cologne and also the referee at pitch side, Martin Peterson, who's made his decision now. And what is that decision in this huge relegation game? It's a Greuther Fürth penalty kick. Dudziak brought down by Bornau, and here it is.
Yeah, well, you can't take it away, so it doesn't surprise me that he takes a decision.
In goal, Koen Casteels, a noted penalty killer, 11 prior saves. No active goalkeeper has more. Only 8 men ever has made more saves than he has in the Bundesliga. This one taken by Branimir Hergoter. 3 from 3 his record so far in the current league season. Hergoter here for parity for Greuther Fürth in a game of huge import in the relegation battle. This is Hergoter, who levels the game at 1 each. And Wolfsburg, who began the game well, have been pegged back by Branimir Hergoter.
It's kind of deserved, because they played really well in the last 15 minutes or so. And well-placed penalty. Ice cool here from the spot. Casteels went a little bit early, but obviously as a goalkeeper you have to make your mind up, and then he went the wrong way.
Hergoter, you mentioned there, Torsten, ice cool. The captain, 5 goals for the campaign, 16 in their promotion last season. This one for Fürth. We're on this 4-game unbeaten run. Now level here against the direct relegation rival, and Korfeldt's Wolves have been checked. Now for Maxence Lacroix. Riedle Baku. By Viergever. Yes, we could well see now, Torsten, that fragile self-belief of Wolfsburg begin to crumble again.
Yeah, I think it's important for them to reset at half-time. That wasn't... and then to keep playing it as they did in the first 30 minutes, where they controlled the ball, they controlled the game. The only thing you could probably say is that they haven't created enough chances from the possession they had.
No surprise, yellow card number 9 of the season here for the league's most booked player, Paul Seguin, the former Wolfsburg player in the midfield here for Waterford. Yellow card for this challenge on the touchline.
Yeah. Don't think there are two opinions about that.
So Seguin on to 9 yellow cards for the season. Bundesliga's naughtiest boy in the current campaign. We're now into additional time. You can see in the last 50 minutes how Fürth have got better. 5 shots in the last 15 minutes, which does show they've ended this half on top, and that goal didn't come out of nothing, full deservedly. Vint. Eveling. The chase on to Dudziak, who is quick. Dudziak. Play by Brooks. Retrieved here by Christensen. Now Simon Asta. Asta's cross comes on here towards Jetro Willems. There's the time here for one more attack in the half by the team. Last seconds of first half added time. Wolfsburg 1, Reuter Fürth 1. Arnold goes long. Chase on here for Asta Vranks, whose goal has been cancelled out. Well, half-time in this huge relegation battle royale at the bottom of the Bundesliga, and Wolfsburg began well. That goal from Asta Vranks, his first for the club, the opener, but that came Reuter Fürth to level. That penalty put away by Branimir Hergota to give them at the break here maybe deserved parity. Half-time score then in this huge game in the relegation fight. Wolfsburg 1, Reuter Fürth 1. Torsten, that half-time score no less than Fürth deserve.
No, definitely not. I think the last 50 minutes, as we've seen in the statistics as well, they played really good. They dominated the game a little bit more. But even though you've got to say first half of the first half was extremely in Wolfsburg's hand, and that's where they have to continue the second half.
So Wolfsburg stumbling in that first half. Began well but finished weakly. These are the highlights we'll see now from the first half of this huge relegation match on match day 21. Bottom versus third bottom. And the first goal for the club here from the Belgian Asta Vranks gave Wolfsburg the start they absolutely craved today. And as Vint involved, Max Kruse too, the 2 new players in the build-up. Renato Steffen off the post, and there to prod home from close range was the Belgian Asta Vranks for lift-off for the Wolves. That was 1-0, but they couldn't build on that super start. As the half wore on, Reuter Fürth got better and better and better. And Korfeld's Wolves saw a penalty given here, the foul by Sebastian Bornau on Jeremy Dudziak, and put away by Branimir Hergota here to level the game just before half-time. The captain's first goal since late November in the Bundesliga. And a goal which certainly Fürth deserved after getting better as the half wore on. And Wolfsburg's torrid luck and run of results may be on course here to continue. If they don't win this game, a huge game against a rival, it would be major points fumbled. Here, the stats from the first half then. Wolfsburg, all that possession so far, but the shots for Fürth, 7 and 4 on goal. Maybe it tells a story. Their attack has been more efficient so far. Half-time at the Autostadt, it's Wolfsburg 1, Reuter Fürth 1. As for the attackers, the goal scorers, Asta Vranks, his first goal for the club, and Hergota on to 5 for the season. 1-1, a game of huge importance, huge significance, At the break, we are locked level. Compelling stuff so far in this game, which is, in cliche terms, a relegation six-pointer. Half-time score 1-1. We're back with you for commentary on the second half.
Jeff Foxworthy is ready to flip through the scripture. Find out if our contestants know their Genesis from their Joseph.
This card is for what man from Genesis 45 who found out that his son was still alive? Cheryl.
Joseph.
Joseph is incorrect.
And their Mary from their Moses.
What leader of the Israelites would have most likely received this card? Dean.
Moses is absolutely right.
So grab the good book, put on your Sunday best, and take a seat in the pews.
American Bible Challenge, what?
Season 2, Sunday afternoon at 5 on SABC2. Babies. Babies. And more babies. What goes on in their curious little minds?
All across the country, Britain's babies are on the move. They're about to take part in one of the most ambitious scientific studies on babies ever attempted.
I'm Goody Singh, a developmental pediatrician. I work with babies every day. So I see what happens in the first 2 years of life lays the foundation for everything to come.
Babies, their wonderful world. Friday, 9 a.m. on 2. What motivates a killer? Is it in their DNA?
Most serial killers don't do random killings.
The young boy had a taste for harming and killing cats.
If you got blood from some external source as a kind of a supplement, that might do the trick.
It was a horrific homicide because not only had he killed her, but she was pregnant at the time.
Some of his responses suggested that he was delusional.
You become socialized into imagining that how you are behaving is acceptable behavior.
As fear spread in the community, the random nature of the killings meant few clues.
Killers by Nature, Born to Kill, Saturday at 10 p.m.
This week on Beyond.
Ngazalwa ngikhuluma, was hearing. Ngase ngaba deaf uma sengina3. Angwezwa amagama abantu ukuthi bathini. So ukukhula kwami bekunzima kakhulu.
It impacted on schooling, it impacted on my career choices, how I dealt with life and the world.
Tune in to Beyond every Saturday at 1 p.m. Make room for more only on SABC2.
Welcome to the family. Without you, it's just a sport. The Bundesliga, live on SABC Sport Channel, on OpenView 124, S3, SABC DTT, and also available on Telkom One. We love it here. Hashtag, you are the Bundesliga.
Piet Matipa en de Kat TV kom kuier by die Dashies Drift Theaterhuis vir 'n heerlike romantiese aand met onder andere die Maandagsonate, gespeel deur Nina Schumann. Onthou om te kyk, de Kat TV, SABC 2 op Woensdae-aande, 7:30. Ek sien jou daar.
Friday on 2.
Wat is kubermisdaad? Kubermisdaad is die misdaad, as ons dit baie eenvoudig wil maak, wat gepleeg word deur die internet te gebruik.
It's a boiler room. there's about 20 guys sitting in a flat with laptop computers, and all they're doing is baiting as many people as they can and then asking for money.
Geld word gesteel, miljarde rande word elke dag gesteel deur middel van die kubermisdadiger.
'n Vinnige kalkulasie van die hoeveelheid al oor die 30 miljoen rand was.
And most of the viewers who are on the internet would have received that email where they were promised millions upon millions of rands or pounds.
Die Roofdossiere, Friday at 7, SABC2.
Join us on a safari live journey as we explore and discover animal behavioral patterns.
Here comes the scrubby. The scrubbies run right underneath the car. You never know what's going to happen when you're out here.
We talk a lot about male lions in exaggerated terms.
And look at that poise. Now you'll find with leopards, they are very calculated in the way that they move. This is amazing.
The dry season is tough for herbivores and boom time for predators.
Look at how majestic that boy is. I do not want to happen here, but we just want to follow them so very closely and see what happens. Because you never know what you're going to find next on a live safari.
Safari Live, Mondays at 7 p.m.
Sunday on 2.
Take a peek around. The trees, the nature, this is like our vibe. It's fun, it's games, it's friends and family. This is our dream.
Even after 12 years, he still makes me laugh all day. I don't know where I'd be without him, you know?
And Alex told me that she was the one and he was going to marry her. I've never seen someone jump so quickly to put a plan in action. And 12 short years later, here we are!
Our wedding story.
I promise to care for you.
Sunday, 7:30.
COVID-19 is taking its toll on the country physically and financially. Unemployment is on the rise and the economy is suffering. How do we address the pressing issues we face today? The State of the Nation Address, 10 February, SABC2.
It's not every day a patient from 1 week becomes a doctor the next.
Come on, are you sure hiring this guy was the right move, Jed?
Welcome to the team.
What about questionable decision-making?
You just did whatever you wanted, and those decisions have consequences. If you want me to trust you, I need to know who you are first.
Are you talking about the test I ordered for Jasmine?
I'm talking about you being honest with me.
I'm still waiting for your transcripts.
Excuse me?
Your medical school transcripts?
Even for me, it's going to be difficult getting them the papers they asked for.
Leaving a paper trail that proves he is who he says he is. And without those, the hospital assumes a serious risk, one we can't afford.
I have copies, they need originals.
No man makes documents.
Yeah, you mean forgeries.
You said a word, I will ask you.
There must be another way.
You sure you're truly qualified? What you're saying is that you can't get your transcripts because you're an enemy of the state in Syria.
It's the truth.
Some truths are better left unsaid.
What was that? Was it an explosion?
Transplant, Tuesdays at 9 p.m. on S3.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's NBA. Each season, the players are fighting for access to the playoffs.
What a drive inside.
But in this fight, only the strongest wins.
How great was that?
Some start their career and some ends.
Throws it down.
Any problem can lead to injury or fight.
Houdini, yes, glass, caught the rim.
It is what it is. Hashtag Mzansi Slam Dunk. Catch the NBA live on SABC Sport Channel on DTT, OpenView 124, SABC 1, and also available on Telkom 1. Brought to you by SABC Sport. SABC Sport.
Put a ball in Africa and watch nations come together. Put a ball in Africa and hear many languages from adoring fans become one voice. Put a ball in Africa and see African players become global stars, bringing hope and unity to the continent. It might just be a match to the rest of the world, but to Africa, it is 90 minutes of solidarity.
Hanging in the air, and that's the opening goal.
90 minutes of I and you are me. 90 minutes of goals, counterattacks, tackles and dribbles, victories,
Another beautiful one, and into the back of the net, Sangare.
and tears. So put a ball in Africa and watch countries become one nation, one spirit, one soul. Because this African Cup of Nations, only one team will be playing. Africa United. Hashtag we love it here.
Welcome to the family. Without you, it's just a sport. The Bundesliga, live on SABC Sport Channel, on OpenView 124, S3, SABC DTT, and also available on Telkom One. We love it here. Hashtag, you are the Bundesliga.
Risk everything, fear nothing, no regrets. Play hard or don't play at all, and rise to the top. Catch the finest of local talent in the Heritage Rugby, Saturdays at 3 p.m. Live on SABC Sport on DTT Channel 4, OpenView 124, and also available on Telkom One.
Look at Riedle Baku, how much space he had on his right-hand side, and a couple of good situations from Wolfsburg came over Riedle Baku. But in general, I found it really interesting how far up the pitch Kräuter Fürth is trying to perform on an away game, and so far 1-1 fully deserved. And hopefully they will play like this in the second half.
And Wolfsburg, Torsten, who began the game so strongly, that early goal from Asta Franks, but it was noticeable how they, as the game wore on, really faded away.
Yes, which surprised me on the other end as well, because they looked confident on the ball. They kept the ball with composure, played through the third. But I think it has a little bit to do with that Kräuter Fürth grew a little bit more into the game, were a bit more aggressive against the ball, which they weren't in the first half an hour of the game. And Wolfsburg couldn't really deal with it, because it was not just a penalty. They had a couple of more chances in the last 10 minutes of the game.
What have you made so far of the two new attackers, Kruse and Wind, for Wolfsburg?
I like what Wind does. He tries to hold the ball up. He hasn't been fed with crosses so far, and Kruse has not been into the game so much. He hasn't had many touches on the ball, not has the influence he had on the Union Berlin games, which is not surprising for me, but something they have to work on.
Here we are, all square, 1-1, and draws for neither club is what they need to get away from their current predicaments. Kräuter Fürth, this would be though with a draw or a win here, 5 unbeaten, but Wolfsburg, this would be no win here, 10 winless league games, which, given they are a club that finished in, what, 4th place last season, would be another indication of just how far they've fallen short in the current campaign. We're away here from Simon Asta. Was in that first half, Torsten Stuckmann, really a half of two halves. We saw Wolfsburg make a great start, but Kräuter Fürth, as the game wore on, got better and better.
Yes, and it's interesting to see how they will come out of the into the second half. Can Fürth keep this up? And more interesting, will Wolfsburg be like they were been in the first half an hour?
Asta Franks for Jonas Wind. Away there by Max Christiansen. For Kräuter Fürth. Stefan finds Yannick Gerhardt, who's been caught by Branimir Hergoth. Free kick for the Wolves, a position 2 of some potential. Seguin is on a yellow card. It wasn't his foul though here, it was Hergoth. Seguin was the next man there for Fürth. Wolfsburg's set plays have been really poor so far this season. Just 3 goals from dead balls in the current campaign. Arnold here delivers the set piece into Jonas Wind. And the overhead attempt there from Maxence Lacroix. Handle here towards Leveling. Back Baku back to Koen Castells. Labelling in that first half, he led the line well for Gruyterfurt, the man who turned down Ghana to play for Germany's under-21s. His father is born in Ghana. Kruse. And Gerhardt for Jonas Wind, well won by Griesbeck. Retrieved though here now by Arnold to involve Renato Steffen. He takes on Zegwin, got the cross in too, but far too heavy ahead of Jonas Wind.
Yeah, it was quite a start than Wolfsburg has finished the first half. I think whenever they had good situations, they tried to switch play, played deep, got back, and then went over the wings. And this is something they have to develop and keep doing.
Kruse finds Renato Steffen. Steffen in towards Jonas Wind, and Max Kruse with a big chance, and one he has not put away in his second debut here for Wolfsburg.
Great ball, but again it came from a good switch, and I don't think he knows how he missed that. Won't miss many of that, but it's a great chance. It's a great start of the second half, and something where they have to work on. They have to stay on the front foot now to drop the Fürth back.
Wind takes the free kick here for Wolfsburg. Arnold clips it in. Here comes Borschut, who hasn't got to the ball. It comes here for Aster Franks, who finds his second goal of the game and Wolfsburg's second lead of the game. Aster Franks at the double.
I just hope he's alright there on the floor. Don't know who is it? Is it Steffen, Renato Steffen?
The Wolfsburg player remains on the turf. The medical team come on really quickly. It is, I think, as you say, Renato Steffen is the player injured here for the Wolves. This does rather tarnish the goal they've scored here. They began the first half with an early goal and the second in a similar vein, but the concern over Renato Steffen here, that collision, really painful for the Wolfsburg player.
It came from a bad decision, and we've not seen the replay yet, but it came from a bad decision from the goalkeeper here. It's a great ball from Arnold, switch of play, no offside. But there, as a goalkeeper, obviously you have to go all or nothing. But it's 15 yards out from goal and wide. You should stick to the goal line and just wait for the shot.
Clattered in here by Aster Franks. This game is to be a restart, a reboot of Wolfsburg's season. Aster Franks has more than played his part so far. A couple of goals, his first ever in Germany. And Wolfsburg lead by 2-1, and the good news is Steffen's back on his feet.
And the other thing is, we've not said a word about this. The finish is brilliant. It's a volley. It's so hard to take. It's showing great technique and skill from Franks. Because from 17, 18 yards out, you have to hit the target here.
So Wolfsburg back in front. You saw there the goal chance of only 20% in our match facts. It was certainly not an easy one to put away there by Franks. OK, there's no goalkeeper, but as Thorsten says, the technique you need there to hit the target was of a high order. Now Fürth must come again. This is Nick Viergever to Sascha Borschut. Away here by Maxence Lacroix for Wolfsburg. The league's two lowest scoring teams have given us 3 goals so far in this one. Unfortunately, they both had only 17. I said before the game how only 4 teams across the Big 5 leagues had scored fewer goals than these two in the current season. That's Hergete. It's on now to Simon Aster. Blocked there by Franks. In Norwich, Burnley, Alaves and Salernitana had scored fewer goals than these two in the Big 5 leagues before today's game. Here comes Riedler Baku. Riedler Baku into traffic and nicked away here by Timothy Tillman. covered by Bornau ahead of Branimir Hergete. And again, that chance taken by Franks. We, in the first half, mentioned how they've been way below their expected goals by around 13 this season, the lowest of any team in Germany in terms of their goals to XG ratio. Well, today they've taken at least one really difficult chance. Arnold. Frankfurt do concede far too many goals in their return to the Bundesliga. On to 54, the worst defence of any of the teams in the German top flight. Free kick here, which Arnold will take again for those hungry wolves of VfL Wolfsburg. It's Arnold's set piece sent in towards the arriving John Brooks. Borchert down to cling on to it.
Easy pick-up at the end, but great delivery and great idea to play it out there and to square it. Just didn't work out.
Unfortunately, began the day on just those 10 points at the very bottom. Here comes Baku, but Borchert to meet it. Either bounced off for Leveling. Now it's Hergete on the move here for Greuther Fürth. Arriving now is Max Christiansen. Again Hergete. In terms of Fürth's next matches, they have the next away game is away to the Rekordmeister Bayern after a home game with fellow strugglers Hertha Berlin next weekend. Then travel to Bayern. Did get one real smashing there, were given a 7-1 shellacking in December away to free scoring Bayer Leverkusen. Otherwise have kept games relatively tight for the most part. He lost to Bayern at home 3-1. Dortmund 3-0, but just that one outlier, really, that big defeat. Leverkusen 7-1, 5-1 on the first day at Stuttgart too, but apart from those two, really they've kept most games relatively close. Christensen. Brooks. Picked up by Timothy Tillman. Tillman away from Baku. Does well here, Tillman, towards Hergete, runs on to Dudziak. This is Jamie Leveling. Stays in play, does it? Just about. Foot won the corner. It's only a goal kick.
Yeah, there we see Borchert is too late, and it could have been an ugly injury here, a nasty one, but thankfully he's fine, because if the keeper comes, they usually go through, and he fully hit his head.
Steffen, number 11, is on the touchline here and is clearly okay to play on, because of course these days take the utmost care with head injuries and concussions. Baku for Maximilian Arnold. Maxence Lacroix. Here the noisy 500 fans allowed inside the Volkswagen Arena today. Here comes Steffen. Steffen travels well, couldn't quite find Asta Franks, and this is covered by Paul Seguin. Mentioned the upcoming games for Greuther Fürth. Well, the upcoming games for Wolfsburg, away to Frankfurt next in 6 days' time, then home to Hoffenheim, away to Gladbach, and home to Union, as they try to claw themselves away from their current relegation predicament. They have come through the playoff twice, in 2017 and in 2018. This year does mark for Wolfsburg 25 years unbroken in the Bundesliga, champions once under Felix Magath in 2009, that great team of Grafitsch and Edin Dzeko. major trophy, the DFB Pokal, the German Cup in 2015 under Dieter Hecking here. Here's Arnold, one club man there. Deep playmaker. That long ball though is easy and meat and drink here for Sascha Borchert. Now to Steffen, now to involve Yannick Gerhardt. Again Arnold here, their deep creative hub. Bornau, on to Riedler Baku. Baku in, Yannick Gerhardt took it well. Franks is hungry again, and then Franks rather dives in, and this will be a card as well for Asta Franks. It appear a rather risky and uncontrolled challenge, and the yellow card here shown to him for that foul.
Respected well. I like him so far in this game. He's always been tied to his man, defended well, and there's just Franks has been too late. It's a foul from behind. It's booking.
His first 2 goals, his first yellow card now in the German game too for Asta Franks. A day of first so far. The young man is just 19. As I say, brought in for €8 million in the summer from Mechelen in Belgium. They do have a pretty useful Belgian enclave here at Wolfsburg. Players like Koen Casteels and Sebastian Bornau. Seguin, now to Jeremy Dudziak. Hergotter, Dudziak ahead, Leveling, and also Tillman. It's Dudziak. Willems is well forward as well here, but it won't reach him. It's nicked away. Riedler Baku. Hergotter aggressive, has won the ball back fairly. And he's got a free kick too, tugged back by Maximilian Arnold.
But this is silly by Riedler Baku. Why is he driving inside? The space is wide, so he's a wide man there. He should not drive inside, and then it's Rigotta just put his body in between the ball and him, and it's a foul there, yes. But I think that the wrong tactical thing came from Riedler Baku to make the wrong decision.
Near the 1 hour mark, they've left a player wide open here. The Baku. Jamie Leveling. The best free kick we've seen that from Rutherford. It rather fell apart, that promising attack. Simon Asta, he's a German under-20 international. Through the ranks at Augsburg. As I say, his first start here in the top flight was away to Wolfsburg the last day of the 18-19 season, an 8-1 defeat for Augsburg that day. Day where Wout Weghorst absolutely tore Augsburg apart. Dudziak towards Leveling. Leveling held up here by Maxence Lacroix. Leveling now is in second place behind Hergotter in terms of Stefan Leitel's top scorer so far this season. Hergotter on to 5 now, with Leveling scoring 4. Made by Baku for Wolfsburg. Griesbeck's header. Astos to reach this with Stefan arriving. Dudziak. Good balance here from Dudziak. Takes on Bornau. Squeezed out by Arnold. Timothy Tillman. Hergotter, deflection, corner.
Twice well played, ball into the channel from Fürth, caused some damage there by Wolfsburg. They defended well at the end, but should have never got to the situations. But Fürth has just recovered a little bit from the second goal from Wolfsburg.
Before today's game, they'd scored 2 goals from 85 corners in their season. Greuther Fürth. This corner, it is going to be Timothy Tillman. As they seek the day's second equaliser, in here by Tillman. And the header, and just across the face of goal, with Hergotter so close again to connecting.
Great corner, great run to the ball from Griesbeck. I think it was Maxi Arnold there on the line. Probably not, but still a corner.
Another corner here for Fürth, who are showing real signs of fight, not just in the game but in the season overall. They made such an awful start. Now playing catch-up. The corner again taken here by Timothy Tillman. Tillman delivers. Well by Lacroix. Simon Asta. Pass loose, seized on here by the breaking Renato Steffen, who travels well, really well. Renato Steffen wrestled down by Griesbeck, a clear foul and a clear yellow card offence here for Griesbeck.
Great recovery there still though by him. There's a foul, he had no other opportunity than that, to be honest. But great recovery one from Griesbeck.
So one away now from the mandatory 5 yellow card, 1 match suspension. In the here and now, a free kick which may offer a hat-trick chance for Asta Franks, or maybe Arnold will pull rank on him. As I say, Arnold 5 prior direct free kick goals in the Bundesliga. Last one December of 2020 away to Köln. So adjacent is Max Kruse. Can produce moments of wonder. He though steps away from this one. In the way, a 3-man wall built here by Fürth. Arnold has placed the ball with real intent. Franks stays there with interest. Arnold takes, the wall stands firm. Now Baku. Mr. Franks all the way back now to keeper Koen Casteels. Brooks has stayed advanced here, but was offside here, John Brooks. Double change being made as well by Florian Korfeld. Time has come to make reinforcement. We're going to see coming on both John Roussillon and also the Polish striker Bartosz Białek. Triple change they're going to bring on as well Maximilian Philipp as well, so fresh legs, fresh ideas, and the reboot here of their attacking ideas maybe is coming off is the debut making Vint as well as Yannick Gerhardt. Steffen, the third player, replaced by Korfeld. Bartosz Białek, the Pole who's come on, he's only just back from long-term knee injury. A man who made big strides in his first season with the club last year, Bartosz Białek.
Yeah, but I think that's why he's been injured, and because he's so young, that's why Jörg Schmadtke definitely wanted to bring someone else in to replace Weghorst, which he did with Wind and Max Kruse. Because Białek, he still has to learn and has to grow into the Bundesliga, even though he's showing some promising actions whenever he comes on.
Just one start so far for Białek in the Bundesliga. It was last season. Before that, cruciate knee injury. Shirts for Griesbeck. Jegever back to his goalkeeper. To play we have 25 more minutes. Dudziak on towards Hergeter. See a matchbacks now, and you can see the passing profile so far of Maximilian Arnold, who's been playing his passes mainly to the right or to the advanced left-hand side of his game so far. Pass completion 83% so far for Wolfsburg's one club career man. Here's Kruse for Arnold. Back here now to Roussillon. Missing their first choice left back, the Brazilian Otavio, who's injured long term with another knee problem. Roussillon described by Korfeld as we need a modern fullback, the former Montpellier defender. Asta clear, drops it to Max Kruse. Kruse still. With him here, Philipp. John Brooks for Wolfsburg to involve again Roussillon, Kruse. Away now will come Seguin. Maxence Lacroix for Wolfsburg, who scored their goals early in both halves. It's Master Franks, his first goals in the German game. Herger's spot kick levelling for Waterfort. Here is Roussillon in towards Beerwijk. The ball grabbed by the goalkeeper Borchardt.
Great ball into the one of Roussillon. That save will help Borchardt to get over the situation with the goal. Good delivery as well. Would have been an own goal, yeah.
Nick Viergever. And Viergever with the clearance. It falls here to his fellow Dutchman Willems. Arnold looking for Beerwijk. Maxence Lacroix. Get the sense Wolfsburg, and like the first half, they've retained their real control of the game, which we saw in the first half really fade away, but not this half, not this time. They've certainly, with a lead, playing strong and hungry, looking for further goals here. Haven't let Fort back into the game as we saw in the first half. Here comes Riedler Baku for Wolfsburg. Baku on here for Maximilian Philipp, and the cross of Viergever towards Kruse again. Master Franks. Arnold Courts. Another foul. And a foul this time by Branimir Hergeter.
He was too late. He went down early and then couldn't have the chance to get to the ball. But I like how Wolfsburg is still developing the play. They control the game. Interesting to see if Fürth will get another chance to get back into the game.
They have given away in this game so far a number of free kicks in positions like this one. Wolfsburg have yet to really make one pay. Arnold, I think, will be the one to take this. It is a little far from goal for a strike, but Arnold does have previous. Arnold on this free kick then for Wolfsburg. Would love here to take a 2-goal lead. Arnold takes, oh, magnificent! It's his 6th career direct free kick goal in the Bundesliga. This one for Wolfsburg is absolutely priceless.
Not sure if it took a deflection or not.
Well, the one-club man, Arnold, who is Wolfsburg to the core, has produced here big time.
Oh yeah, there.
Deflection, yes.
There's no chance for Borchardt then at the end, because Leveling's deflection just changed completely the way of direction for Borchardt. And once you go as a goalkeeper, and he would have easily caught it, then you can't go back as hard. It's just unlucky and a good finish.
Arnold then, as I say, his 6th free kick goal, his first since December of 2020 away to Köln. And this one gives them a 2-goal cushion over Greuther Fürth. It will be a big win this for the Wolves, and their first since November the 6th in the Bundesliga, unless Fürth, who've taken just 1 point away from home all season, can find a way back here in the game's last 20 minutes. Take it off Dudziak to bring on the Norwegian Håvard Nielsen. There he is. So a debut for Tobias Raschel, brought on to a player they brought in from Borussia Dortmund last month, a player who's come through the ranks there, a former Dortmund youth team captain, a former German national youth captain too with Dortmund's under-19s. Seguin now for Håvard Nielsen. And Seguin, I think offside here, the call. how he required a win today, how he needed this. Not there yet, of course, but a 3-1 lead, looking good here. A much better second half from Wolfsburg. Here is Kruse. It's the one thing the game misses now is a goal from him.
Yeah, but still looking into Kohlfeld's face, he still knows how tight it is, how quickly it can change, and he looks really nervous, to be honest.
Before today's game, they'd taken just 2 points from the last 9 league matches. All competitions were on an 11-game winless run. There's a Viergever for Jetro Willems. Griesbeck. Raschel. Willems. Towards Håvard Nielsen. Ball there will be easy here for Koen Casteels in goal for VfL Wolfsburg. This year marking, as I say, for the club 25 years in the Bundesliga. Musil. Here for John Brooks. But the players they have, Torsten, you look at the squad they've got here, the Wolfsburg squad, they should not be in a relegation fight at all, should they?
No, and if you would have asked me at the start of the season, obviously it started well, there would have been easily for me a contender to get through the group stage of the Champions League as well, just looking at the squad.
A very kind group as well in there with Lille and Sevilla and Salzburg, but didn't qualify even for the Europa League. Bottom team in that section in the Champions League in the autumn, their first crack at that for 5 years, having come fourth under Oliver Glasner last season here. Arnold's last free kick produced the third goal. Arnold takes. Might come here for Philip. Deflection, a fourth goal for Wolfsburg. Hit by Philip, his first goal this campaign. Did they, like their third goal, take a massive hit on the way through.
Well, again, obviously it took a deflection. I feel for Fürth in this situation, but you can't score if you don't try. And scoring from there, ball came perfectly on his left peg. Why not trying? So good finish. But look how much space he's got there. No one is getting out. Rigotta is too late, and that's why the deflection then goes straight into the near post.
At the back of Rigotta from Maximilian Philipp to make it 4-1 here for Wolfsburg. And this goal will ensure they do break that winless streak of 9 league matches. 4-1 their lead now. Is today the day they just reignite their season, Wolfsburg? They have the talent. Now can they climb the table? .15 to play, and Fürth now are being skittled. Away here by Casteels. Before today, they'd scored just 17 goals all season, Wolfsburg. They chose to make those signings to just breathe new life into their attacking options, their attacking movement. And okay, the new men haven't scored today yet. But certainly we've seen in their attacking play a much better, much more punchy Wolfsburg this afternoon. Raschel here for Seguin. Håvard Nielsen. Jetro Willems. Tobias Raschel. To find Simon Aster. And Seguin here for Reuter Fort. It's Aster. Little give and go with Raschel. Aster in, away by Brooks. Now Kruse steps away from Griesbeck, or tries to, his former Union Berlin teammate. Reverse ball, a good one here to play in Bartosz Białek. Here is the young Pole. Chase on for Arnold. Away by Griesbeck. Brooks here with real authority, striding forward now to involve Maxence Lacroix. Riedler Baku. Philip, who scored the 4th goal, he signed after a loan spell here last season, after a really unhappy stay with Dynamo Moscow in Russia, where at one point he actually thought about retiring. He was not enjoying his football at all in Russia. And his first goal of this season too, having joined, as I say, on a permanent deal from Dynamo in the summer. Now Roussillon with Asta for company. Maxence Lacroix sets off with real purpose for Wolfsburg. Away from Carl Seguin. Now Maximilian Philipp. Into Kruse. Arnold. And that big switch out here to Roussillon might bear fruit. It's Roussillon here for Wolfsburg. Roussillon still pulls the ball across. Asta Vranks for the hat-trick, and the shot too high from the impressive Asta Vranks.
This one is a brilliant finish. Again, it's similar to Vranks' goal. You just have to hit it like this as well. It's a good technique to hit the ball like this. Obviously, then a little bit luck with the deflection.
The change here sees Hergeter taken off. In his place comes Dixon Abiyama, the man whose goal won promotion against Torsten's old side Fortuna Düsseldorf in the summer. So brought on another former Wolfsburg player from their bench. Luca Ito is really a left back. Here is Jonas Vint, who had a decent debut for his new club. Player brought in from FC Copenhagen in Denmark and replaced the departed Wout Weghorst in Wolfsburg's squad. And thought to have been well beaten in terms of the scoreline. Here's Simon Asta. Plan has been passed on by the way to Paul Seguin to captain forward now for the last 10 minutes or so, with Hergeter off the field. So 4-1 here for Wolfsburg. Need to really boost morale here in the Autostadt. Last win here, only a single goal win over Arminia Bielefeld. That was way back in early November. Philipp, who got the 4th. Hergeter's rather generous deflection. Brooks. Now to Roussillon. Jarowek for Kruse. Seguin. Leveling looks for the run here of Abiyama. Abiyama looking for his maiden goal in the Bundesliga. Abiyama in, but Brooks takes charge. Well, Torsten 4-1, does that score really tell the true tale of the game? Is it maybe a little flattering for Wolfsburg?
It probably is. But you've got to say, especially in the second half, Fürth had no chance so far. Wolfsburg is dominating possession, they control the ball, they play with a purpose. Similar to the first 25-30 minutes of the first half. Obviously then Fürth grew into the game, but they didn't make it to get this good 15 minutes of the first half into the second half, and I think it's probably a goal too high, but deserved.
Max Kruse now to find Roussillon, whose ball is far too near to goalkeeper Borchert for Reuterfort. Pressure there on Timothy Tillman. As I say, Ford's next away game is away to the Rekordmeister Bayern. I think Max Kreuser's debut is done. The winning start to his second spell with Wolfsburg, taken off here to make way for another of their big money summer signings, Luca Waldschmidt. Has scored just the 1 goal so far for Wolfsburg, so Kreuser off to make way for Waldschmidt. They brought in to just give him that X factor, that spark. He's done that today in spells. High five from Vorfeld for Kreuser. It'll be a winning start for the return of the Max.
I think there's room for improvement with him, but again, he's got the personality, the influence on the pitch, even though he didn't really play as good as he can. But I think his presence alone made a really difference to the way Wolfsburg played today.
Brooks there to Philip, and now it's with Asta Vranks. So Wolfsburg's next game on Saturday, a trip to Eintracht Frankfurt. Taken, of course, their former coach Oliver Glasner in that game at Frankfurt next Saturday, Deutsche Bank Park. This will be a welcome win, though, their first in 10 league matches. Augsburg win yesterday saw them fall into the relegation playoff spot. There is Seguin from Maximilian Philipp. Tillman. Tobias Raschel. Simon Asta towards Abiyama, away from danger here by Bornau for Wolfsburg. The change coming. We're going to see defender Mickey van der Ven coming on, the young Dutchman they brought in the summer. Well, Tillman has been taken off for Greuther Fürth as well. Julian Green, the American, comes on for him, and Mickey van der Ven coming on here for the home team, in from second tier Volendam in the Netherlands, and replacing here John Brooks for the game's last 5 minutes. It'll be only van der Ven's second game in the Bundesliga.
Und der gestern abgewechselt, der Platz verlassen hat Nummer 21, die Tillmann, Kinder ist auf dem Platz G37, Julian Green.
Castells here now to find Mickey van der Ven. Win here would do wonders for Wolfsburg in terms of the league table. Well, here's Håvard Nielsen for Greuther Fürth. Here to find Luca Itter. Would be that first in 10 league matches, and would see Wolfsburg do some climbing up the league table. You see they'll go up from 16th to 12th with this victory. Big win in terms of getting away from the relegation choppy waters, while at the bottom Greuther Fürth will stay 8 points adrift of second bottom Stuttgart. So Fürth in real trouble. Wolfsburg in the space of 1 game. It's looking much better here for the club from the Autostadt. Julian Green. Simon Asta arrives on the scene to find Carl Seguin. Griesbeck. Asta with Roussillon, who was strong and has won the ball here, but I think in doing so maybe got a knock from Simon Asta, maybe a knock on the ankle, was it here, for the French fullback.
I think he stepped on his toe. I think that's what it was.
The left back has been for Wolfsburg a real problem position. They, as I say, have lost Paulo Otavio to another long-term knee injury. Roussillon really is their last recognised left back, though they can, as they did today, play Gerhardt out there as well. It's not by any stretch Gerhardt's preferred position.
No, but the thing is, if they play 3 at the back, with the wing-backs playing, and Roussillon, obviously, he's probably the preferred option to play as a wing-back, but then you can still play someone more forward-thinking as a wing-back. So that gives you another option and cover.
Viehefer, Ita. Griesbeck for 4-2, took a risk there with Philip close to him. They will come Simon Aster here for Greuther Fürth. Rock bottom in their only previous season in the German top flight, the Bundesliga, Fürth in 2012-13, and odds on to finish in the same place this time as well. Baku chasing this with Luca Itter. Abiyama's story is a remarkable one. He came to Germany from his native Nigeria only 6 years ago. Only 4 years ago was playing in the 6th division of the German game for a club called Keller Fürth. He then moved on to a 5th division team. He was seen there playing against Greuther Fürth in a friendly. They signed him last season, scored 7 goals, all from the bench, and one of those goals won promotion on the last day of the last season to book their place in the Bundesliga. Raschel. Given away here to Arnold. On the chase here, Luca Waldschmidt. Waldschmidt held up by Griesbeck and slipped away here now by Greuther Fürth, and Raschel involving here Simon Aster. Håvard Nielsen now. We are inside the game's last minute of 90. Julian Green. Beyond him is Luca Itter. Here is Itter, the former Wolfsburg player. Itter's cross, and Castells comes with a rare piece of second half action. Not a happy anniversary for Stefan Leitl. 3 years in the job yesterday with Greuther Fürth, their longest serving coach of all time. Riedler Baku for Wolfsburg. Franks. Away here to Luca Itter. Well, again, Wolfsburg had to win, and they have won it in the end by 4-1. Their first win after 9 winless league matches. Korfeld's Wolves have taken a massive 3 points in the relegation battle over rock-bottom Greuther Fürth. On a day where their attack finally found teeth, Wolfsburg winners here over Fürth by 4-1. Well, Torsten, a game billed really as, for Wolfsburg, a final, a must-win game, a 6-pointer, and they've done their bit.
They delivered, you've got to say, and they delivered in style as well. I think a really big improvement in terms of performance. If you look at the last couple of weeks, played really well, fully deserved to win here. Feel a bit sorry for Fürth, it's probably a goal too high, and obviously conceding 2 goals through deflections. But that's how football goes, and I think for Wolfsburg it can just be the kickstart to the rest of the campaign.
A win which means a big climb for the Wolves from the relegation playoff place, up to 12th spot now in the Bundesliga table, as they sign off matchday 21 with an elusive win after 9 winless matches, 2 points from their last 9 games. Today they take all 3, and in some style, winners over Stefan Leitl's Greuther Fürth by 4-1. From Torsten and myself, Dan O'Hagan, it's goodbye from Wolfsburg.